What's going on, heroes and villains? It is I, Shuby.
And I, Odie.
And Mortal Kombat's out. I'm downloading it right now. And so while we wait for the game to fully download, I thought it'd be a good time to watch part of that Kombat cast from yesterday. Now, I saw that a big segment of that was the invasion mode.
Yeah.
And I really care about the single-player stuff in the game. I really do. I thought Derek Kurtzik did a great job with the towers last time. With the Towers of Time and how they cycled and how there was kind of almost always something fresh, and they were implementing new towers and stuff. Anyway, I liked it. And there's no more Crypt.
That's sad.
It is sad. And so from what I heard, Invasion is like a hybrid of the Crypt and Towers. And I kind of don't like how that sounds.
Yeah.
So, I like it being separate. I like them being two separate modes. But we'll see. Maybe it's going to be everything I never knew I wanted. So, without further ado, Ski, are you ready, Abuski?
I am ready.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, and we're back. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting very close.
This is exciting.
It's upon us!
Very exciting. And more exciting things to talk about, Derek. A mode that you worked a lot on.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk a little bit. Some people have seen a little bits and pieces of it, but we
Sure.
want to go more into
That's
depth.
like his blue
found
shirt
off the internet.
that I was like pining over,
nice.
but it's in
Yes.
black.
So what?
I see.
What are invasions?
Whew. Invasions is another additional single-player mode for Mortal Kombat 1.
All right.
What we've done is we've kind of taken what we did with the Towers of Time and the Crypt in previous games, and we combined them into Invasions. And Invasions is an RPG-like experience.
That
going through
I
the
like
different
hearing.
realms,
RPG-like.
or mesas, as we like to call them, of Mortal Kombat 1 to defeat the invading force.
All right.
Each season is about an invading force coming into Liu Kang's timeline. And season 1 is about Hanzo Hasashi, and he has come. I'm not gonna spoil it. We're gonna show a video afterwards about that. And so every season you'll have new mesa, you'll have new content, and a new story, and a new invading boss.
Okay, so I thought when they said
some of that
seasonal
too, as
stuff
well.
was going to be like
we have
Christmas,
some
Halloween, that kind of
now.
seasonal stuff. But I
hopefully
guess
they do.
But I guess it
Right,
just
so-
means like season
so you're talking about
passes,
Mesa
like
Select.
Fortnite.
Yes.
Let's take a look at that. So this is where it all
This
happens.
Why
is
is
where it
this
all
room-
happens. You see, you got
What does it remind you
Scorpion
of?
looming over that one there at the end.
If my
That
memory
one
serves
would be
correct, it
the
reminds me of the
final
Neopets
mesa.
map.
Oh, yeah?
As you
Some
progress,
Neopets?
You will
Wuxi
unlock
Academy.
spaces. We don't want
Tarkatan
people to get
Colony.
into content
Nice.
that might be too hard for them. So we've also added a level of progression to this system.
Living
You'll
Forest.
start off in the Tea House Mesa and make your way all the way to Scorpion. And then that center mesa that we have highlighted there, that's called the Gateway. And so if you were to finish all the content of the season, but you still want to play fights and you still want to, do one thing or another, you can through the Gateway Mesa, which has constant rotating content similar to what we had in Towers of Time, where there's new daily, new hourly, new weekly, and a seasonal tower, which you should be like max level before you even start that, and there's warnings.
I was playing that the other day, and a very high-level Gearus bodied me.
Yes.
I was
Was it
pretty
me?
emo about it.
No. We named it Lanny.
Wow, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So just what we're talking about here with the mesas, there is always something to do.
Always.
And when you finish doing that stuff, you can go do more stuff.
Yes. There's always something to do.
It just kind of
in
sounds
Invasions.
like the only
And
thing
like
to
I
do
kinda
is
touched on
to be in a
earlier, it
fight.
definitely has RPG elements where you can allocate stats, so you can kind of like have your fighters be as strong in one category or another.
The
And
Gateway sounds like
there's
it's
elements and there's
like
a lot.
randomized
Neat, like in the QA lab,
modifiers
you're
or
like,
consumable matches.
all the
That's
hot
kind of what it
takes,
sounds like. I could be
one
way
person was
wrong.
Like, oh, I dump all my stats into attack. I'm YOLO.
That's what I
just
do.
Go
That's
all in,
absolutely
and
what
then
I know.
People have a more balanced approach. There's also, you can have your stats be automatic, which is what I do.
Right.
And it just kind of balances it out.
And what people start to do is they start forming like teams, right? Depending upon
It sounds like they have
development.
attribute points like Tony Hawk
So it
characters.
really encourages you to change your characters or change your cameos frequently as well. And
Helps you learn characters too.
And it helps you learn
Yes.
characters, yeah. And so choosing one character could give you an advantage in a fight. You're not necessarily required to do that, But once you engage more with the systems, you'll be like, ooh, I know if I pick Raiden against Sub-Zero, I'm going to win because Sub-Zero's weak to electricity.
Yeah, the min-maxers
Are they doing
out there are
Pokemon
gonna
type-ups
find
in this?
exactly
That's what it sounds
they're
like.
Switching out every time, doing all this
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
I really need to
And
see
then,
what
like
they're
I said,
talking about
each
because
season,
I have no
we'll
idea.
Wipe all that content, and we'll make brand new content with a brand new invading force.
Dig it. Speaking of these, the places you play,
Yeah.
almost the playboard, the
Yeah,
maces.
yeah.
You want to take a look at one of those?
So they're huge and they are beautiful. And so I think one we haven't shown yet is the Tarkatan colony. And so yeah. let's
Okay,
do it.
perfect for me. I love them Tarkatans.
So he goes through this portal.
He goes through the portal.
It's like the back of a Magic the Gathering card.
the Tarkatan colony.
And it's very neat because normally in a fighting game you're seeing these environments, but on the 2D plane you get kind of a limited view. And with this you can just see like this expansive version
It's
of these levels.
It's like they're living in the Grand Canyon.
These are all nodes and chests you can find.
There's
I'm
secrets
seeing a whole bunch of
everywhere. Speaking of
placemats,
secrets,
which tells me it's like a
every
walk,
node
walk,
has a
walk,
secret.
Like the
walk,
Super Mario
walk,
thing?
walk. Yeah.
yes.
Like,
So
Yes.
there's
is
not-
a
it doesn't
lot
look
of
like-
content to be had.
There are also just a million. Like,
Yeah,
Easter
you're
eggs,
on a rail.
jokes, references, little lore things, just the whole 30 years of Mortal Kombat's run. There are characters who might not be in the game, but they'll get a little.
It might be
shout-out.
fun, but that's a little sad.
It's like we're getting away
Some of the
farther
names
and farther
and
because,
nodes
like,
are
it was
really
X had the
fun,
first
like,
person
just a simple
crypt.
example. Early on,
11
there's a
had, like, the,
fight, and the node is
you know,
called-
full experience of a dungeon crawler.
Yeah, and now we're like top down.
Yeah, it's been a lot of.
And I
fun
also heard there's
to
no
work
more
on
jump
this,
scares.
to work on
That's
this
sad.
mode.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
It's
miss
really
that.
important for us.
Apparently,
to,
like, people had
have
arachnophobia and
right,
stayed
to
away
have
from it
something where
completely
you
because
can
of it.
finish
That
You can
makes it
feel
more
a
fun
level of
to me.
completion
Yeah.
each season.
Allow
You're
somebody
unlocking a
to
bunch
switch
of
that
cool
off. Don't make it
stuff
something
along.
that's
Right
not
on.
there for everyone.
The horror aspect was
Well,
always
and you just go
appealing.
over there
Yeah,
and
but
find
none of this game looks horror.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even Natara looks like...
And you talked about RPGs.
You know what's
earlier.
funny? I started seeing
A
people...
lot of RPGs have ways to build and craft.
Hold on, building
Yes,
and crafting. Hold on.
And we have that.
People were
too.
making fun of
So we
the
have a
lines
forging system,
that,
a crafting system,
Megan Fox
where
was
you have these
delivering,
items
saying they
which we
were
call
extremely
taps.
flat.
They
And
were.
as you're going
No,
through
no,
your
like
journey
her
of
new
creations,
lines,
you're
like-
collecting
Oh.
things called
Anyway.
components. And what you can do is go into a forge, which is a Shokan warrior named Bob. He's everywhere.
We want to
He-
show that now? Oh,
Yep.
we're showing it. We're
Yep.
showing it. Go, there we go.
There's Bob, and so
What the fuck is... We're in a
there's
mall?
the Shokan warrior, and he can be found in each one of the mesas, and there's sometimes multiples of them as well. And you take
Bob's
these
my
components,
bodyguard,
you
private
collect,
chef,
you
and personal
combine them
trainer.
with
Okay, I am forever going to have a...
Or
a
you can even change
Mortal
the element
Kombat
types of
will
them,
always
so if
be
something
a
starts off
better-
as fire, and you're like,
Or Mortal
"Actually,
Kombat 11
I
will
need
be
something
a
to
more
turn
true
this
Mortal
into
Kombat
ice."
experience to
You
me
can do
because
that.
it's less gimmicky.
And
I've
there's
never
some
liked things like
very
animalities,
talented
babe-alities, stuff like that. I
also.
thought
So I'm not gonna
cheapened
really spoil
the
too much
franchise
of it,
by being
but,
just
I'm
goofy
excited to see what
slapstick.
people
Like,
are able
they
to
ran
do
out
with
of real good
sports.
ideas and
Anyways,
just started getting silly with
really
it.
hype about it,
I
but,
don't like the
guys,
silly
There's
stuff.
some
Like where
that
Jax gets all
are
massive
really
and stomps on the
powerful.
opponent.
That took me by
And
surprise,
like,
honestly.
I hate that stuff. I don't find it great. Like, it's
if
cool
it's
for an
broken,
homage
yeah,
or whatever,
we
but like
like
other than that, I really
And then
don't.
we were actually
I don't like
creating a
the
better
dulling
story
down
here,
of the grit and
I would
the
like to say we should maybe
and
show
the
some of how
darkness
went
that
through
is
now.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, let's do it. We're
just
successfully
super
going through the
bright.
forge, right? So,
Right.
It's like
again, like
friendships.
even
is
the
enough.
sequence just looks awesome, right? Like forging sequence. Mad props to the UI team for getting that going. And there, Bob's back to work.
Thank you, Bob.
So then we have these little tiny ones.
And so you can forge it so that they become real little. And actually, one of the hardest things to avoid.
So
is
you
something that is
forge
moving
modifiers
And staggers.
slow.
or
And staggers,
augments,
right?
right?
But
You're
you
essentially
can also make them
doing
really big.
Jinsei augments, like
and that's just
Jinsei
and
augments
that's
from
just
Mortal Kombat
skulls.
11 that were
There's
introduced later on, where it
different kinds of
adjusted things.
fireballs,
Like you could do
meteors,
more fireballs, or you could do.
armor.
you know,
there's one I just really can't wait for people
Yeah,
to see.
it just sounds like.
But we're gonna hold it and wait till people make videos.
We'll hold
but
that one in.
Yes, but pretty much a lot of the modifiers that you'll see
Yeah,
throughout
modifiers.
invasions can also be turned into a talisman, and so it gives you this additional power outlet or that you can use during fights, and you can actually even 2-in-1 into talismans as well. So it's a lot of fun. It's an additional level of power to help you advance through this adventure that we call Invasion. Invasions.
Awesome. And say it like that every time.
Invasions.
Awesome. So we do have some questions from that we've kind of scoured to find. So I'm just going to give you some rapid fire.
Hit me. Let's do
Give
it.
me as much information as you
I like this that
you got
they
it,
have
you got it.
community
Does my level
questions.
reset each season?
Yes, your Invasions level will reset each season. You will start back at level 1. The cap for a season is level 30.
Cool.
Yep.
Are Invasions how I unlock cameos, skins, and gear and stuff?
Yes, but not exclusively how you unlock them. Just playing the game, you're unlocking cameos, so you're not required to just go and do Invasions to unlock it. You can unlock them through playing online matches. We wanted to make sure that players were being rewarded for playing the modes they want to be playing, and also playing as the characters they want to be playing.
That I
We
can
have
agree with.
2 reward structures. Okay, we have more than that, but 2 passive ones. We have what's called Profile Mastery, which is your level profile going up no matter what you do, and you're unlocking items through that.
And then I'm sure
then
it's
you also
character
have
mastery.
Character Mastery.
Yeah.
Where you're playing as Sub-Zero.
I mean, they pretty
you want
much
stuff
had that for
Sub-Zero,
Mortal Kombat
You're getting
11.
stuff for Sub-Zero for playing Sub-Zero.
I'm getting it.
Yeah. And so each character
It
has
just kind of went without
a
saying in
mastery
Mortal Kombat
reward,
11.
Mastery reward system, and so do cameos. So whatever cameos you want to play as, guess what? You're getting rewards for them as you're just playing with them.
Got it. So
I'm really going to
online
miss
warriors,
being
you
a
get your
crypt.
stuff.
Yep.
You love doing the offline stuff. You get your stuff.
Yep.
You do them both. You get your stuff.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
Just play the game.
Can you
That's
play
fine.
invasion mode
What happens
without being
Oh,
online?
Vanquish
I know.
or not?
Well,
if you
yeah.
couldn't finish it.
So what happens is we lock the content, or we make it kind of go away for a week. We want to have a down period between seasons so people can be like, "Whew, I can relax for
Breathe
a
a little
bit.
bit.
I can relax." And then what will happen is there will be 2 mesas that are still available to you. One is the Gateway Mesa, again, the constant changing content, things like that. So if you still want something to play during the downtime, that's there. But then there's also the Wuxi Academy. The Wuxi Academy is a practice mesa where you can respec your points, you can try different loadouts and things like that, and that'll be available to you as well.
Dig it.
Cool.
I mean, we kind of already touched on this. Do you have to play as one character in the invasion?
No, you can switch characters at any point. You have one global invasion level, and all your characters are leveling at the same time. So you might reach like a level 15 content. Guess what? All your characters are that level, so it's not like, oh, I have to level this character up to even beat this. Nope, that is
Super
not
helpful.
Yes,
Super
you can
helpful.
switch at any point. Were you
Yeah,
gonna say?
like what I did when I was playing this weekend is I had Katana as my roster character, and I would switch my cameos constantly. And you can also have different loadouts. So like, if I wanted to switch to Sindel, she can have a different talisman.
Yep.
And that kind of stuff. So
Awesome.
you can if you want to. You also could stick to one character. It's really up to you.
Yeah.
Dig it. Is Invasions an online feature? Always online
Yes,
feature.
it is an
Gotta
online
be-
feature.
Okay.
Because you're getting rewards, right? And so we need to make sure and validate that you're getting those rewards in that content. Yes.
Got it. Is there a match for each stage in Invasions?
Is there a match for each
Map.
Oh, a map.
A mesa.
So we are only showing 6 mesas for, or well, technically 8 for season 1. And again, each season we'll try to bring in a new mesa or a new map, and then we'll shuffle them around, change things up, so it's new content.
Sure. Do I have to pay for Invasions each season?
No, it's seasonal content. I know when people hear the word seasonal, they think that there's something to pay for. No, of course, it's free content. You don't pay for Invasions.
Is there a battle pass? Kind of already talked.
No, we do not have a battle pass.
We
There's
have
no
the other ways of.
We have passive reward structures,
Yep.
no battle
Got it.
pass.
Is there MTX in Invasions?
There is no MTX in Invasions, so you cannot pay your way through it. You cannot pay to get rewards or things like that. No.
Exclusive seasonal items.
Yes, there are exclusive seasonal items.
Okay, I like
people
hearing that.
have been asking, or I've seen on the Twitters, if getting that scorpion skin is how, or if Invasions is how I get that scorpion skin, I'm gonna play it, and it is. And there's a lot of other cool ones in there too.
If I miss something during a season, can I still get it?
You're gonna have to wait till that season comes back.
Got it. That's all the questions
That's
I
it.
have. Yeah.
That's it. So,
I have one thing to add that I've seen a lot of people mention.
yeah.
Classic just classic towers where you unlock your arcade ladder ending and all that are still in the game too.
We have that too.
Right.
Which I will do every single one of them.
Yeah.
As I always do. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to add? I mean, I think that was a pretty good rundown.
I think we covered a lot. No, I think I'm good. But let's maybe show the season opener.
Let's do that. Let's show the
Okay,
season.
season
All right, let's
opener.
see what this looks
Season
like.
1.
The Spectre.
The Scorpion invading our timeline also lost his wife and son to Quan Chi's murderous machinations.
Right in the throat.
Consumed by grief, he searched them all to find another Harumi with whom he could rebuild his family. But in timeline after timeline, he arrived too late. Harumi was already dead. When Scorpion reached ours, he was
The art
crushed
style
from
reminds me of their
from
mobile
alive.
game.
Harumi was
That looks
ready
like AI.
for Yang. Thwarted yet again, Scorpion's frustration exploded into rage. He has vowed to burn this entire timeline. If he cannot have Harumi, no one will.
Okay, I kind of like that
Okay,
with their
spooky.
invasion thing. Like you start off each season with a introductory story, kind of like Fortnite does when they start a new season.
Have a nice
You know,
opening
like
to
they'll
the
show
season.
something crashing
and,
to the
each season will have
ground
an opening
or
of the
whatever.
invading force, right? And there are no jumping spiders. There's no jumping
Yeah,
spiders.
see, yeah.
So,
Good to know.
yes.
And if you manage to reach the boss and defeat them, you get a cinematic ending to go with it, which is really cool.
We like to give you a
Makes me
conclusion.
think of Injustice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to show you some characters today. Reiko's coming.
Reiko.
It's,
Did I say it right
you
that
said
time?
it wrong.
Reiko.
It's still Reiko.
Okay. So, anyway, yeah, I do like what I'm seeing as far as like there being a mix of things and stuff like that. There was that one little trailer. I'm surprised they didn't show it here. It was on like Twitter, but they never posted on YouTube, and it was Invasions, and it just showed like all those quick little clips. You remember when you saw like Test Your Might and stuff like
Yeah.
that? That was part of that. So I'm wondering if that's like incorporated into Invasions and kind of
Like some
those
spots
mini
underneath.
modes are like locked to it. But seeing the thing like where those little orbs were like coming down from the sky or whatever, stuff like that makes me feel like it's going to be mostly fights and just you're doing... It's no longer like you're roaming for crypts. You're just going from point A to point B to point C to point D. And each one of those points is like... Now you're fighting with this modifier. Now here's a, test your might. Now avoid getting hit while random projectiles come in highs and lows.
Well-
Like, I have a feeling it's going to be like that. Not a huge fan. Personally, I really like the dungeon crawler stuff. I love the puzzle solving stuff. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that, I do have the game. It is downloading right now. But I loved the crypt. I actually like Towers of Time. People hated the Towers of Time. They hated dealing with modifiers. They didn't like having to use augments or consumables to counteract some of the modifiers, which made the game virtually super easy. I've won matches in literally 0 seconds before. It was so easy once you actually looked at it, and I feel like this is a way for them to try to be like, hey, this was really awesome, and we're going to prove it to you how awesome it was. But I think and mending those two things into just one, I don't know how big of a fan I am for that. And also, it being a system that you have to be online to play, I'm also not a big fan of. So if you can't do any exploring, you can't go back and play anything, at least let us do that customization where we can tweak our character and go to that one mesa or however they called it if we're offline. I feel like everything is online all the time and people are like, what are you crying about? And it's like, bro, I grew up playing like old games where being online wasn't even a thing. Like where CD keys was like the only thing you needed to be online for, and then the rest you could just sit there and play. Like I kind of miss those times. I do get why they do like the way packet like information is delivered and stuff like that, and why they need you to be online nowadays. I get it. I just wish some stuff wasn't as online as it is. Other than that, some of the visuals look good, and I like the idea of exploring some of these mazes or zones or areas. I like that.
I don't think it's going to hit the same, because if it's going to be on this linear path, you're not going to get that exploration like you did in the crypt, where you could walk up to one thing and it costs this much, or this one costs this much. Maybe I can save up and get this random thing instead of having to get them in order.
And I did feel like that playing the crypt was an experience that I was able to do in my own way. Mm-hmm. Now, with this, it'll probably be your own way with, I chose this character and I did this to my projectile and I used this cameo, and that's why I played it my way. But you're not adventuring your way. You're literally on rails going forward, and you're going through the same experience as everyone else. The only benefit that truly has for me as somebody who tries to make tips for gaming is that when some of these things come up, I can do little tutorials and be like, hey, this is how I beat this one. But it honestly seems like for Mortal Kombat 11, when there was an issue with, let's say, if somebody played the Gauntlet, there was like maybe 3 or 4 ways to make it super easy, and I could go over those ways. But in Mortal Kombat 1, it kind of makes it seem like there's 1,000 ways that you could beat these things, which for the betterment of everyone else. But like I said, doesn't boast well for me, especially if it goes away in 30 days. Whereas the Gauntlet was there forever. Just yesterday, I got somebody saying, thank you for saving my controller from a tutorial I did 4 years ago. And I'm not sure that's going to be the case with this. Now, he did say that some of them cycle back around. But, it's whatever. It's my curse and my curse to bear alone.
It's like, I wonder how many seasons there are going to be.
Yeah, I mean, are there going to be 12? Are there going to be more down the road? Are there going to be super duper extra little side mazes for months that have holidays in it, like Halloween, like Christmas? I need to see stuff that are seasonal items. I get not everybody celebrates Halloween, not everybody celebrates Christmas, but everyone knows what the F they are and knows that they're surrounded by magic and mysticism, and what better place for it than Mortal Kombat. Alright, she's got to get going here in a little bit. We still got to eat some food, so I do want to give you a window just to say anything else before we get going.
One thing I'm curious about is when they talked about the invasion thing in the, that's going on. They said you have to be a really high level before you take it on. It reminded me of the invasion god thing that I never figured out, but it just pissed me off. How you could never beat them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The invasion god, where it's like his health bar was gold and it could never go down, or go down a little bit and instantly jump back up. It's like you're trying to constantly get through the armor and you're just constantly dying.
What invasion god are you talking about?
MKX?
I don't remember that at all.
No?
Yeah.
I just remember, trying it. I'm like, man, I couldn't last more than, 5 seconds.
I feel like maybe I just wasn't very sober for Mortal Kombat X.
I think we tried it once, got really frustrated, and then thought, what's the point?
I thought Mortal Kombat 11 was, the best game that NRS has put out. A lot of people don't feel that way. A lot of people think 9's the best. A lot of people think MKX is the best. I think 11's the best complete Mortal Kombat experience that I've ever played in my life. So I do hope that Invasions can hold a candle to not only Towers of Time, but also has to hold a candle to the Crypt, which I thought was one of the most amazing things NRS has ever done. Talk about being on rails in MKX and bouncing around, but you could still look left and right and stuff like that. That was neat. With this, it kind of looks like you're just a pawn. Yeah, and you're just going bloop, bloop. Not even like XCOM, where it's blocks and you can move around wherever you want. Anyway, without further ado...
Goodbye to you?
You know what? I kind of like that.